like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Tell us what your favorite kind of pizza is.
Chad, yeah, I don't think you can call them that anymore, and just because they live on an island doesn't mean they won't see this. So.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, I don't know what kind of fan base you think we have.
Anyway, give us a recap of...
I have no idea what that was.
Just thought we would cold open, and, you know, Chad was talking about them like that, and I just... thought we would probably put an end to that, the use of that kind of language on the podcast.
What are you going to ask, Chad?
The Sober October, how's it going? How many...
Sucks.
It's terrible, man.
5 days in.
5 days in.
It's the worst
I've never
thing.
thought about beer more in my life.
It's the worst thing.
I was like, they're literally dreaming about wet dreams about Coors.
Yeah, I really do. I wake up and I'm thirsty. I go to sleep, but I can't fall asleep. I'm thirsty.
You try water?
No, it doesn't quench the thirst.
It's a different kind of thirst.
Yeah, in what world does water better than beer?
What world does water quench thirst? All right, well,
Honestly,
that's been the Goons After
I mean,
Great.
honestly, this has been pretty tasty, though.
Yeah.
How's my biggest concern was the Jewel for Chad. What's it been like? Did you get the shakes?
He's saying that beer has been harder.
I mean, yeah, I wake up in the morning. No, I mean, really, and it's one of those things people are like, oh my gosh, you're going to get headaches. They're going to be terrible. It's like...
If you haven't by now, you're probably fine.
Well, it's like, I had a couple minor ones, but I was never like, like I was never like not able to like think. And if I ever got like a little minor headache, I just took a little ibuprofen, I was fine. Like, really, the thing hasn't been like... For me, I feel like it's been...
Just been wanting it.
A habit more than anything. It's like I would find myself reaching in my pocket trying to grab it just to like the motions here. It's really
it is crazy how like second nature that stuff has become. Like I come home and I go to the fridge and grab a beer, and the last 4 days I've come home, opened the fridge, I'm like, damn it, I can't.
There's nothing in here.
It's like a sixth of the way there.
A sixth of the way.
Yeah.
You're getting there.
Yeah, how's that feel? 1/6 of the way there.
So I was listening to our podcast from last week on the way over here, and you were talking about Armageddon and how they're like, why didn't you teach, why'd they teach oil drillers to be astronauts?
Oh,
and
the
not
movie.
astronauts have
Yeah.
like drill. And I thought y'all were saying that it would have been a better movie to have astronauts come to Earth and drill oil. So in the podcast, I was like, why would you do that?
another one.
In your world, you were right.
I was like, that
You
doesn't
were
make
right
good
in your
TV.
world.
You mean train astronauts to be normal Americans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring them back down. Teach them
To
how
our
to do
level.
a
That's
menial
right.
labor job.
In the podcast, I was like, yeah, they come down. There's like a big reservoir that they have to get to, and like none of y'all like laughed, and I was like,
So, well, another one of my favorite movies is Pearl Harbor, which is supposed to be kind of a bad
Pearl
one.
Harbor.
But
Great.
I saw this thing one time that says Alec Baldwin's acting in the movie Pearl Harbor is worse than the actual act of Pearl Harbor.
I thought he was pretty good in that. Is Pearl Harbor considered a bad movie?
I think so, yeah.
Really?
The one
Yeah.
who called his
I
daughter a
love
pig.
Pearl Harbor.
I like Pearl Harbor too.
I don't like the ending.
Both
I mean,
Armageddon and Pearl Harbor both have Ben Affleck.
What?
You don't like the ending, huh?
Well, of the movie, not of Pearl Harbor.
I don't like the ending of either.
I guess. Well,
All those guys in the water, all the fire.
there was
It just makes me really sad.
I saw a video. There was some guys that they were saying that like the Japanese, they bombed Pearl Harbor in Hawaii thinking that was America, and they're like, yeah, we wrecked America, and then like Hiroshima and like Nagasaki's like went at them. They're like, yeah, we destroyed all of America, and it's like
Do we know how many days between both nuclear bombs we dropped on Japan?
Between those two, or between Pearl Harbor and...
No, between the two bomb droppings. Wasn't it like 2 or 3 days?
Several days.
Yeah.
It wasn't like the next day.
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3, wasn't it?
Yeah. Because we dropped the first one thinking they wouldn't surrender, but hoping that they would.
Well, yeah, and
then they didn't.
Well, and it's one of those things, it's like, we drop one, and they're like, oh my gosh. They're like...
I guess 6 and 9.
How many?
3 days.
3 days?
3 days.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like, I feel like from Japan's point of view, it's like, oh my gosh, that was terrible. Well, there's no way they have another one of those.
Good thing they only got one.
Thank God that's not going to happen
So,
again.
like... We were pretty ruthless with bombing cities. Like, even in Germany, whenever we were there, we were doing a bunch of touristy stuff and looking at all the history. And, like, we had... I don't know. I mean, it ended up being like a perfect storm where we came in with regular bombs and opened up all the buildings, and then right behind them, they dropped incendiary bombs to catch everything on fire. But the weather was just perfect with the wind picking up that, like, they created, like, 100-foot tall fire tornadoes that just destroyed, like,
That's
Hamburg.
amazing.
Yeah, it was like
America.
1,200-degree fire tornadoes going through Hamburg, Germany.
It's pretty much America's answer for just about anything. Just to bomb someone.
America.
I just came this close.
Right now, the whole government's going, how do we bomb a virus? How do we do it?
That's why it's been around so long.
Yeah,
Like, how do
they
we
can't
spend
figure it out.
this military budget to fix these other problems? Because now there's no terrorism.
Well, why don't we just increase the military budget a little more? That ought to help.
I saw somewhere in Utah, thousands of minks
What?
have died, like a ferret. Aren't those like
Yeah.
a,
Oh, I was like, oh, that's an animal?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that
Like
before.
a mink coat?
Mink coat?
Yeah, huh?
Okay. Okay, all right. Okay.
thousands of them are dying from COVID.
Well, so also like in New York, because everything is shut down, like the rats are overtaking the city and literally cannibalizing, and there's like rat gangs from different boroughs that are like attacking
Yeah,
It's those
rat
Kia Soul
gang.
rats.
each other.
West Side Rat Gang.
because there wasn't enough food.
There's like blood and crip rats.
You know what it is?
Someone said, Chad reminded this. They're like, someone said, they're like, did you hear Trump? He was throwing up blood. And then it showed a picture of him doing...
I saw, okay, so, because we brought up both of the topics, and I wasn't going to bring this up, but I saw on the conspiracy subreddit today, somebody made a post that was like, anybody else notice we had 8 years of a Democrat president, and terrorism was like the forefront concern of the media, of the nation. We pumped money into military spending. We were going to bring the troops back. We sent more. And now that Trump's the president, it's just Trump's bad. Where did ISIS go?
Yeah, they disappeared.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I assumed ISIS was gone just because no one said anything about
Like
it.
I think we pushed them out of some territory, but then it's like you would never know because it's just Trump bad every day now.
Didn't Trump bomb him? Like, literally?
No, that was...
I thought he did it, like,
Iran.
bombed him.
I thought something like that happened too.
We bombed a military base in Iran? I don't remember where
Why
it
are
was.
we letting ISIS do what they do?
Oh,
We're just letting them.
okay, hold on. Okay,
cut the
let me.
tape.
This is gonna start a whole nother train. Are we the world's police?
I agree.
More or less.
Sorry, scratch that. Let me
Should we be?
yeah, should we be?
Nobody
the world's
wants.
police?
Nobody. They always
they don't
complain.
Want us.
They
Yes.
know, and nobody wants us to be.
That's so funny.
So I mean,
We have a rat problem over in Australia. America's like, let me help with that.
but in reality, we should be like, man, that blows. We should be like the dude who like disappears in each like photo.
I mean, but like honestly though, if we ever had any issues, major issues here, who's gonna come help us?
Who's helping us
like
with COVID?
who's gonna just come and help us without us asking and begging and pleading and paying them.
Well, they would never, even if we asked.
In like
exactly.
the world.
Why do we help everybody else?
Yo, here's a question.
Hey, you and me. Right here,
Yeah, we're on the same.
We're right here.
Movies like Pearl Harbor, or even like I think more so Titanic. Like, be real. Like, who would not care about Titanic if there was no movie about it? About Jack and Rose. I wouldn't give a crap about it.
Wait, but because of the movie, you do?
Yes.
Okay, just clarify.
It's like, oh, that was so terrible, all this happening. But, like, if that was never made...
Well, it's because we didn't have something to, like, visually see how it had happened.
Well, it's all just speculation. Some of that is.
I mean, there's a movie, and I still don't care.
They shouldn't have hit an iceberg.
Yeah, dude, homeboy who was driving hit that, and he was like the chick with the curb, like, oops, my bad. Like,
we're fine.
Yeah,
How
we're
many
fine.
ships have sank ever?
What is we're fine?
Who have hit an iceberg?
It was just the biggest one.
Well, you know that.
I'm sorry, all Titanic sympathists. I don't care at all. I don't care at all.
There's like a whole
even a little bit. I don't care.
There's a
even
whole
little
group
bit.
out there like, how dare he?
My grandpa got in one of those life rafts and was fine. Great.
He survived.
Hey,
Fantastic.
that's every story.
Yeah. How many people died? There's a good amount of
There's
people.
a pretty good amount of people died. Yeah.
Well,
And
and,
Jamie tonight.
well, and then we had that whole Titan book that came out before Titanic, which was about a really large ship that hit an iceberg and sank and killed a bunch of people. That was years before the Titanic had actually happened.
They thought that was a great idea, huh?
Yeah, they did.
To name themselves the
1500.
Titanic.
1,500.
That's it.
That's less than I thought. Actually, I was gonna say
I was saying
like 3,000. Yeah.
It's because Titanic, the movie
1,500.
says like 3,500
Okay,
people died.
there were only 2,240 passengers and crew on board.
That's not even that much.
But that is
How many
the
are on?
majority of people.
How many are on a cruise ship these days?
Oh, no, that's the thing. We went on a cruise ship for our honeymoon, and we were living in Huntsville at the time, and I realized that the cruise ship we're going on for our honeymoon holds more than the whole population of Huntsville.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Which
pretty
is how
crazy.
many?
It was like 3,000 or 2,700.
Yeah, those carnival
Yeah.
things can hold. So is the Titanic bigger than a cruise ship?
Yeah. No way.
I feel like cruise ships today are probably bigger now.
Have you ever seen a cruise ship like
Yeah,
up
they're
close and
huge.
personal?
Everyone-
Yeah.
I've never been on a cruise ship, so
I've never
I
been
haven't.
on one. I was in.
Yeah, I've never seen one in person.
We were on the
like-
dock of that country I went to, and we saw them tens of miles out in the ocean, and it was like, even from that distance, it's like, that's giant. Like, that is imposing.
Tiny. Yeah, it's tiny.
I feel
It's a freaking tugboat compared to
Yeah, so this
today's
is the Titanic versus the
ships.
cruise ship.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah.
That's kind of
here,
what I
here,
thought.
here. I got it right here. I got it right here.
It's still.
That's
I mean,
the
it's
Titanic.
a big
That's a
ship
cruise
still,
ship.
but
Oh,
it's not
wow.
like.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so big.
Yeah.
The cruise ships are. I figured they were because they're massive.
Yeah.
Can we talk about cruises?
Yes.
Tom Cruise, maybe.
What's your? Did you like your cruise that you went on?
I've never been on a cruise. So.
For our first time experience and being 20 and 21 years old,
Wow.
it was okay. There, like now, we know what to look for in a cruise. Ours ended up being just like ours ended up being just like a straight. Like, it would have been like a booze cruise. Like, we got on the ship in Miami, and they immediately signed us up for a bar crawl, which I didn't have any issues with. But
She was 20 though.
she was 20. So you know what they do there is I signed a waiver as her guardian, allowing her to
That's
drink.
gotta be. There's gotta be something.
That's not cool.
Are we gonna let that go?
But
So yeah, I basically
They're just
signed.
letting minors. Are you? You look. Yeah, you're the parent.
you're her dad, right? Okay.
No, well, but that's like that. Apparently, that is legal. Like, if you are married, like I'm the head of the household, I can sign.
Not in
something
2020.
saying-
You can't say that.
Also, I keep
Well, this was in 2012.
my mustache
so-
hairs are like keep going up in my nose.
Cool. All right, cruises.
Is this not a problem for other people?
So we were also
Let's trim it.
we went in like mid-October and hurricane season. So we were in the water during Hurricane Sandy as it was going on. We
Oh.
actually missed one of our stops because of Hurricane Sandy.
Wow.
And 2 of our stop. We got out and like we didn't do any of the excursions that they like included or they had available. One place we just shopped around, like they got like tourist trap shopping center right next to the ship. The other one we took a taxi into, and we went to the Bahamas, so in Nassau we went into the town. And
I feel like a cruise, like for me, I would enjoy a cruise the most because of like you can get like unlimited food.
Yeah,
that's true.
Well, okay,
that's true.
That's the other thing of it. I was expecting a lot more seafood. It was like the free food. So you had buffets all over the place that were free, but it was like Golden Corral quality.
Yeah,
dude, I'll take it.
That's my main thing is like the food
that had been sitting out all day.
Disgusting, sitting out all day, being touched and breathed and sneezed over.
Yeah,
COVID nightmare right there.
Second, ship full of poo poo.
What the hell is that?
Where's all the poo poo go?
What?
Ship is full of the poo poo.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Is that what you were saying the whole time?
Yeah. Ship full of poo poo.
Where's it go?
It's in. I know where it goes. It's in the ship.
It doesn't go out in the sea?
There's no way that's legal.
No,
It's just waste. It's poop.
There's no way that's legal.
Yeah, it's
Fish poop in the sea?
Yeah.
It's very, very different.
All right, let's go arrest them. Go arrest them right now. Put them in tanks. Put them at SeaWorld. That's their cage, all right?
Handcuff a
Watch
fish.
the camera.
So, if you were to put a pair of pants on a fish, would you put them where like it's like this?
I can't stand you.
Or would you put it on them like horizontally?
The long ways.
Like this?
Yes.
Where their fin is hanging
where their
out the
tail
Yeah.
comes out the pants.
What about a dog?
All right,
Just the
One leg
hind
or
legs?
one leg?
No. Wait, yeah.
Or every leg? Should every leg have pant?
Well,
Yes.
okay. How about this though? So they've got fins. Oh, my bad. They've got fins.
Scoop.
Am I still out?
Oh,
Yes. Look at this. See that?
I'm sorry.
Are you going on how to handcuff them?
No, I'm asking like, are there fins? Are those like hands? Because they both have fins on both sides, or are they legs? Do they need 2 sets of Tims or just one?
Are you suggesting
Dogs, 4 Tims. Fish, 2.
Are you suggesting we pant the fins? 2 pants right here and 1 right here.
That's a
a
positive.
mermaid.
That's groundbreaking.
Where does the shirt go
If
then?
a mermaid had pants, it'd just be one pant.
Yeah.
It'd just be
just
one
need the
singular
one.
hole.
Are pants synonymous with legs? We're saying one pant, like that's one leg of pants.
They're called pants, plural.
Plural. Yeah.
Because you have 2 pant.
pant legs.
2 pants.
I'm panting.
We only see pant legs because
pant.
pant sounds funny. It's 2 pant.
Paint.
It's
You know
2
what?
pant.
Let's go to that conversation earlier. What the hell, Charles? You adding an S to your name?
Where do you get off having a plural name?
I have no idea.
How many of you are in there?
As my parent, you don't want to know.
How
It's the
long is
alcohol
it?
that keeps them suppressed.
Yeah.
Get nasty, get sick, trapped on boat with strangers.
See, and that's one of the things. Is like I love my wife and everything, but we're a little
But-
bit.
But
My wife.
I was waiting for it.
We're a little bit different as far as like she's quite a bit more introverted than I am, so it'd be nice to do those types of activities with friends, like with another couple or a group of people. So the people
We'll go
that
with you
don't
next
want
time.
to go and party,
We should do a cruise, bro.
We should.
Booze
We're talking
Bring your
to
taker.
some other couples about doing like an all-inclusive resort in Cabo or something this next year, which would be nice.
That'd be cool. Cabo. So where does the poop go?
In the boat.
Is there like a section all the poop
That's
goes
what
to?
they mop the deck with.
No.
Look at this way.
Say psych.
Say psych right now.
Yes, I'm joking.
It's hard to tell with you sometimes. You just have a
Blake's
reservoir in the middle of the ship with poop.
There's got to be a
There's a
poo-poo
sifter.
pipe.
There's a sifter as it's coming down the tube. If it's solid, it goes that way. If it's not, it goes that way. There's got a big old tank of poop.
So I
Well,
learned this
you know
this
that
week.
guy doesn't get paid enough.
No, there's no way. The poop stirrer.
Yeah, the poop stirrer.
So on tour buses,
Got to keep it from sticking.
like even those big band tour buses can't take a dump on them.
No. They don't
can't take a dump on them. Only the most expensive tour buses can you take a dump on. And you know why?
They go out on the road.
They don't go out on the road. They have a garbage disposal under the toilet that particleizes your poo-poo.
Mm-hmm.
You flush it
and then liquefies, and it's supposed to drain. I mean, they've got to drain. They can. Mm-hmm. It's just a whole lot harder to get rid of the solids than the liquid.
Yeah. Hear me out. Just a direct line.
We can't take a number 2 on our.
A direct line to the road.
We can barely take a number 1.
Does yours have a bathroom?
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's called bottle.
I thought yours was just like
we got a plastic.
You can barely take a number 1, but you can still take one.
Yeah.
How?
Bottles.
Oh, you can do that anywhere.
Bottles.
Going down the road.
Yeah.
So hear me out though. Why don't they just direct line to the road? You flip a button, opens up, splat on the road.
And then some driver hits it, and they start slipping like an oil slick.
One band that we played with, they have just they had just a 12-passenger, like a conversion van, and it was just all guys. So they rigged up a urinal behind the driver's seat, just drilled a hole straight through the floor, and they got an oil funnel with the big long hose, and they strapped it to the wall, and they stuck it out the hole, and so they can just stand up and take a piss right there, and then they flush it out with Drano every time, and it doesn't smell, and it just pours out all over the floor, the road.
I mean,
you wake up one day and there's like a turd in it, and you're like,
who did it?
Sorry, I forgot to pour the Drano.
Yo, did anyone ever poop in the urinal at school when you were there?
Definitely one time.
What?
Yeah,
I was about to say, that sounds like an Evan thing.
Definitely.
What?
And no, at my private school in St. Louis, I went in the bathroom one day and there was a turd on the floor. I remember that for sure. Just like not in a stall, not at the urinals, just on the floor in the middle of the bathroom.
The number of times I've been in a bathroom and there's been a piece of poop on the floor is absurdly high. Which granted one time is too high.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like 5 or 6 times in my life I've gone to a bathroom and there's been poop.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a dookie in a urinal. I can't remember where. I can't remember.
Wait, you said you did it.
No, I didn't.
That's what I thought.
I was asking if you saw one.
Oh, I thought you were asking if we have done that. And, and then you were like,
I kind of got that vibe too.
And then Will was like, one time. That's why I was like, what?
It's like, yeah, definitely pooped in a urinal.
Have I guys told you this is a...
Have I guys told you? Have I guys told you?
Is that what I said?
Yep.
Have I told you guys?
Roll the tape.
I shouldn't talk about this.
Just talk about it.
You already got this.
If you want it cut, we'll cut it. I'll just cut it. Have I guys told you? And play you 80 times.
So, have I guys ever told you about the story I discovered? I think I was so young. It had to have been a freak accident the way this happened. I climbed a pole. Oh, I gotta pee. I chased that feeling, dude. I went home to my swing set. Dry heaved.
Man, imagine if we could tell every story we have about all of our friends on this podcast.
You guys remember the time? Were you there when we went to... Whose house was it? I don't know whose house it was. But Colin was there. And, like, I was, like...
Colon cancer.
Trashing him to his face. Were you there when that happened?
I mean, like, which time?
It's like I was trying to be just, like, inconspicuous about it. Like, something happened to him... Like... Something happened to him that he always did to us. You know, like he would always screw us over, and then someone screwed him over.
Yeah.
He was ranting to us about it. I was like, yeah. I was like, I hate when that happens.
I remember that.
So I'm not exactly sure where this story's going, but I had something come into my head, and maybe you all would like to hear it. So
yeah.
Long story short, it's already a very long story, even when it's short. I'm at this retreat for the church that Will works at. They do this event every year for 5th graders or something like that, and so I'm out there for the whole weekend.
New Life Ranch?
Yeah, it's out that way. Yep. And so me and my buddy Andy are playing.
Andy.
Mm-hmm. And so we're out there playing.
Great
and
guy.
He's played for us before.
Yeah, and so... we're out there, and him and I are both really tired. I feel like I kind of didn't want to be there, but I feel like there was kind of another vibe, like he didn't really want to be there. And we rode there together, and so we're just there. So we just started goofing off the whole time. So the entire time we were there, like all 6 sets that we played or whatever, anytime there was like a guitar part where like he could solo or something, he'd play Smoke on the Water. And every time I had a place where I put a drum fill in, I just did the Phil Collins like drum like, and that's all we did the whole time. And then some girl that worked there was like, "Oh, you guys are really awesome." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just playing Smoke on the Water." And I was like, "Yeah, and I'm just playing oh gosh, now I can't even think of what's the song called?
In the Air Tonight.
Yeah, I was like, "I'm just playing In the Air Tonight." And she's like, "Oh yeah." And we're like,
I had no idea what you
I'm just playing In the Air Tonight. What does that mean? I'm just playing Smoke on the Water.
So this came up. We were just watching a movie, and the phrase.
Were you going to finish that? Sorry. I want to hear that, but were you going to finish
About what?
about colon cancer?
Oh no! I mean, there's nothing more to that story.
yeah.
I was just asking if y'all remembered that.
He barely. I mean, he hardly even started a story here.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't much of anything.
What were you saying?
Go on.
Okay. Well, I was thinking. Sometimes I think about stuff probably a little too much. Like, you know, when somebody says "see you later" and then they respond with "not if I see you first." Like, have you ever
That's
thought
very
about
specific.
like where that came from? Like
No.
why they respond with "not if I see you first"?
Just
Like what they
assume
mean
it's
behind it.
petty competitiveness.
Okay.
I literally
Petty
have genuinely no clue.
competitiveness.
No clue.
Well, I just looked it up, and it that's what I was thinking what it was. But it's like implying that if the speaker sees, I don't even know what the locutor, the person that
Interlocutor.
says "see you later," sees them if the
You okay?
lack of alcohol.
Smoke coming out of your ears.
implying if the speaker who says "not if I see you first" sees the other person first, then the speaker will avoid the person. It's like,
Oh.
yeah. See, it's a lot more interesting than I was getting at, but maybe a little bit more interesting.
Great anecdote, Charlie.
Thank you.
That's what I've been thinking about this whole time.
Anyways.
Anyways.
Every time they say it, I look at the gun.
I wonder if it was like, you guys ever thought about that? And like,
Yes.
when he says that, do you wonder if it was like a look, or if it's just like,
I just always imagine him like, they're like, anyways, and he opens the drawer and he's like,
see, in my head, there was just like a gun propped up in the corner, and he's just like,
you're implying that it's not just like a 38 special.
yeah, you know, I'm
So, yeah, it's a little 22 or something.
Yeah.
I'm
over
thinking,
there.
yeah, it's like a Red Rider or something like that, just in the corner.
Little BB guns in over there.
He's like, I swear.
What are we
He's
talking about?
freaking Ralphie up there.
We've told the story where their friend was
Not a
basically
friend.
getting their acquaintance was getting cyberbullied while they were playing online, and then they kept saying,
And he
Hold
was-
on.
yeah, I said
No.
that I
Okay.
did this.
And that's even too much.
No, he said something. He kept making a dumb joke in an
About
effort
Annie.
for anybody to notice him.
Okay.
And then they started making the same dumb joke,
Back to him.
making fun of him making the joke over and over. And he started text messaging one of the other people there who wasn't making fun of him and was like, every time they make a joke, I look at the gun.
I know where they live.
Gotcha.
I know where they live.
Gotcha.
So I was just
And he
curious
did.
at how his looking at the gun went.
See, I always imagined it like he's sitting there and then he dies and he goes,
That was good acting. Right there.
That was good. That was
That was
good.
good.
and then, yeah, and then he comes back, or like
And he
every time he has a
dies.
second, every time he has what?
He
I
said,
said Annie dies.
That was good. That was
Do
good.
that again. You're like,
Can't even reproduce it.
yeah.
Don't you hate when we do something like that? You're like, oh, that was good, and then it's gone forever.
Forever.
Yeah, Hernandez.
I still have one, dude. Oh my god, I still have one. Look, the world doesn't revolve around you, Charlie.
what? Just I feel like I missed like 3 things. I just leaned forward. I feel like I missed like 3 things.
I know. I looked at my phone for like 3 seconds.
in the world,
Chewing my head off.
and the world is gone.
I came back to this conversation and it was like a totally different conversation. Have you? That reminds me.
Dude, he jumps to stuff so quick.
That reminds me though. So there's this girl that was telling a story, and she she went to her friend's house at like 1 a.m. and they were like drunk, and they were just like having fun, and then they started singing the national anthem, trying to harmonize it together. You know where I'm going with this?
No, I just saw Chad trying not to laugh.
No, get this. Listen. So they're singing. They're like just hanging out at their apartment. Then all of a sudden, they're like, let's try to sing the national anthem and harmonize. And they look at the clock, and like an hour and a half has gone by. They're like, oh my God, have we been singing the national anthem for an hour and a half? And it was daylight savings time. And at 2 a.m. hit, and it just skipped an hour. That was very anticlimactic.
How were you that stupid? How was anybody that stupid?
I hyped that up to be such a good story.
Have you seen those guys on TikTok that are like, Da Vinci?
Yes!
Yeah. The twins?
I have trouble believing.
They're stupid!
Not one person, but two people from the same household who also are twins could be the same amount of stupid.
Well,
it's shocking to me.
Have you know what I'm talking about? So on TikTok, you can take these little quizzes, and like it's one quiz says, who painted the Mona Lisa? Okay. First of all, they didn't know at all. They're like, oh, I don't know. And the answer popped up and said Da Vinci.
They said no. First of all, they said Mona Lisa painted it.
Yeah. And then it popped up and it said Da Vinci, and they're both like, Da Vinci?
At the same time, though, Da Vinci?
That had to be planned.
But it's after them being like, how many hours are in 2 days? And they're like, I don't even know how many hours are in 1 day. And the other one's laughing incredulously, like, oh, it's about the hour. You know?
Wow. Yeah, they're idiots, dude. You hear?
I think it's fake.
I don't think it's fake. The haircut and everything. There's no way.
I was gonna say, like, it could be, but like, just the way they talk,
Da Vinci
sounds like they're stupid, like straight up.
My favorite TikTok right now is this black guy in his room, and he's crying, and he's like, I'm so tired, man, but every time I close my eyes, I see those two white men, the ones that say Da Vinci. And he's really crying.
There's this guy on TikTok, I found him, his whole channel, every video is the same. It's not the exact same video, they're all the same thing though, and it's him crying in a shower, and like, so the line on one of them says, diabetics when their mom says sweet dreams, and he's like in like a shower, he's like screaming, and it's like no audio, and he's like like banging the wall. He does that. That's his whole channel, but different captions on everything.
Sweet dreams.
I'll have to show you on our next break.
So is TikTok leaving or what?
No,
they got bought by like Oracle or something like that.
They decided to partner with a U.S. government-sponsored like tech firm that's gonna help them meet guidelines.
I like how TikTok, like probably 3 months ago, they said was going away. There's a fly.
What's the time?
I see, homeboy. He flew that way. Get after it.
So, this is real quick. So, like 3 months ago, TikTok was allegedly going away. Mm-hmm. Then I remember the CEO of TikTok released a TikTok, and it went to everyone, and they said, look, we're not going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, 2.5 months later, Trump's like, yeah, you're gone. Yeah. And then if it wasn't for, like, them, like, partnering with, like, this whole thing, like, they would have been gone for sure. Yeah. Like, they had power over Trump and the government to just keep their app. They're like, we're not going anywhere.
I saw...
Trump's like,
yeah, I saw some app developer on Reddit that was like, you know, I reverse engineered these apps. So he like reverse engineered the Facebook app, like the Twitter app, Instagram, and TikTok, and he said by far, not even like a close race, by an exponent, TikTok pulls more information from your phone than every other platform combined, more times a day. Yeah. It's just like where you are, all of your contacts, all of your friends on other social media, what they're doing on those platforms, what hashtags they're liking, what TikToks they're liking.
I was gonna say, like,
once every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
TikTok has definitely been the most, like, fastest learning of, like, me. Like, it'll, like, it's constantly, like, spitting stuff that's in your alley and what it can read. Like, if you spend more time watching one TikTok versus another, it's like it knows that, and so it's going to give you more of that.
If only Reels was that good.
Yeah. Yeah. I found though, if I take like,
the one you sent me of the dude falling backwards down the hill with
it was a backwards video of him falling down. So it's like him standing up.
Oh, was it a Hispanic guy?
Yes, I've seen that.
I've seen that.
Fell off. Yeah.
I found if you don't get on TikTok for like 3 or 4 days, your feed will just be all blonde girls again.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, it just goes right back to just.
I haven't been on in like a month at least.
It's just going to be normal TikTok again.
Yeah, mine's a bunch of Amazon finds.
I get that. I get that one.
And I went and bought some stuff from Amazon.
I've seen it.
It's from Charlie.
It's for Charles.
It's for Gerald.
For Eugene.
What if we just all didn't know Charlie's name? Like all this time, we just never knew his name.
That'd be awesome. Charles was just a cover-up.
It's for Hugh.
Like what?
Mungus.
He does a video I'm talking about. It's so old, dude.
What's your name? Humongous.
You think we don't know Humongous?
You just sexually assaulted
do you know Hugh Janus?
I don't know that video. I know Hugh. I know that.
with the girl.
I don't know that one. I don't know. I haven't seen that video.
You're talking about that one, right? With the girl that's like, you just sexually assaulted me.
No, that's Humongous.
Yeah, it's Humongous.
That's
Yeah, no,
Okay.
he's not. He's talking about Hugh. He's talking about Hugh Janus.
I was on Humongous.
I used Hugh Janus as my name for a dude who was trying to scam me out of something I was selling on Craigslist one time.
Hugh.
And he would call me Hugh Janus every time. I thought it was great.
That's awesome.
Look, if they're gonna screw you, you might as well try and screw them back.
Yeah.
Right,
There's
yeah?
a really funny. There's like a Smash Brothers tournament on Twitch that's like huge, and these two guys are commentating, and they're supposed to be shouting out like donations, and the guy's like, "Yeah, thanks to Tess Tickles for the $10," and the guy's like, "Bro," and then he's like, "Yo, you just said, bah," and the guy's like, "Oh," and then the other guy turns around, and he's like, "All right, anyway, thanks to Hugh Janus for the $20," and the other guy's like, "What?"
Have you seen the dude who's like, yo, thanks for the sub. This a robbery?
Oh yeah, and it plays out loud.
yeah. He's in like line at like a gas station or something.
Thanks for the sub. This is
A robbery? And he goes, oh.
Da Vinci?
This a robbery? Chad would say it to me all the time, like a year ago.
This a robbery?
That's one of my favorite videos.
There's a channel on YouTube, and it's this guy. I'll throw up a screenshot if I can find it. It's this guy that he pulls the footage from the gas station he works at of people robbing them.
Yeah.
And he like does commentary.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's not like them holding a gun. It's like them stealing stuff from the store.
What is it called? You can't remember?
Gas station something. I feel like it's gas station something. Like gas station.
It's gonna bother me. Yeah, Anyway, continue what you were saying.
That's all I had.
Oh,
it was good.
Have you guys ever seen like any of the Aussie Man reviews?
I don't even know what that is.
It's just an Australian guy that commentates videos. And,
They're
hilarious.
yeah,
Great.
Gas station.
Like
encounters.
I said, I have nothing
station
to
encounters.
contribute.
You have a lot to contribute to this
I
family.
had a lady come in today with a
You
mesh.
bring in the money. You bring home the bacon.
money shot right here.
I had a lady come in today with a mesh mask.
A what?
A mesh mask.
It's like a mask you
I
wear
can see
in
through
protest
it.
to wearing a mask.
And it was bedazzled to look cute, and I could see her nose and mouth and everything.
You're
That-
like,
that-
great,
that-
now I can aim.
That'd probably be weird because like I definitely like say stuff like kind of out loud, but not really. Like if somebody pisses me off, I'm like, God, it. Like them just seeing me like that probably wouldn't be very good for me.
Yeah, but this was not even a good mask. They were like making fun of wearing a mask because it was mesh.
It was like they're protesting wearing a mask by wearing a mask that doesn't work.
I think Chad gets that, right? Or no?
Are you you're making
You
fun
got
of me
that,
now,
right? You were saying that you couldn't say stuff, you couldn't mouth stuff bad about
I'm just making a whole nother point. You guys are getting caught up in the wrong thing here.
Charlie started explaining it to you, and I was like, maybe he doesn't know.
I know.
No, and I'm
he was
saying,
explaining
I'm
that,
saying,
like he was
but like
trying to
having a
relate,
mask that
but he
you can
wasn't
see
trying to
through.
relate. He went to a different.
I
thing.
was.
No,
This has to be the most frustrating thing to listen to ever. This has to be so frustrating.
You should hear. What was it? Oh, we'll talk about that later. The where we were talking about math, and then there was another scenario where Lauren. Oh, we were talking about riding bikes down the Greenway all the way, and then coming back. But we could just ride to the Greenway from here. But the Greenway goes some of that way.
Yeah.
Before it goes that way, like
south.
so she was saying that we could just go left and then come all the way back to there and then come here and then we still would have done it. And we were like,
we like had an aneurysm because like it did like, and she goes, it'd be the same distance. And we're like,
what are you talking about?
we're like,
I'm not sure I follow.
I don't know if I follow either, but I think that's the point.
It's fine.
Chad, okay.
Anyways,
So I mentioned earlier, I wish we could say all of the stories that we have about like all of our friends on this podcast. If you could tell one story and just change all the names just because the story's so funny to put it out there, what would you tell? Evan's got one. Change the name, the date, and the location.
Don't know the date. I'll say when Steve and Kyle like in that room. You know what I'm talking about?
I think you mean under the bridge
Something like that. I
in
don't know.
Harbor Meadows.
Yeah, okay.
I always heard the story as a sewer, which made it so much weirder.
It's a drainage tunnel under the bridge in Harbor Meadows.
I'm afraid I'm thinking of something else.
No, you're thinking of the right thing.
Or a different occasion. That's what I'm.
No, it's. I mean,
Here,
this is-
whisper the names to me. Whisper the names to me. So this isn't on anybody's record.
And
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Why did I thought that was in a practice room in band?
no.
Maybe he knows more.
What in the world is this?
Maybe
is
he
this
knows
the last,
more.
This is the last piece to Exodia.
I swear I've heard that.
I've heard it in one of their rooms. Also, I haven't heard possibly in the whole
I
high
don't
school.
know. I'm questioning everything I know now.
I'm
That's
questioning
what I've
everything
heard.
I know on this end.
What school's practice room?
Junior high.
Okay. If he said
That's in the right era.
if he said high school, that blows this whole thing wide open. That extends the timeline of this by 2 years.
That blew the conspiracy out of the water.
Charles, this is legendary, and we will tell you the two names when this podcast is over.
Well, one. I don't know. Should we tell him one? I mean,
We
one.
should
No,
tell
no.
him both the names.
Just well,
You know both of them.
Anyways.
What story would you tell?
God, I don't know. I feel like we've already told like majority of them,
Yeah,
dude. It's like,
we genuinely don't care. Like if people hear these stories.
well, yeah, I feel like we've just told most of them already. I feel
That's
like
the one I had in mind.
I feel like I almost don't have any
Yeah, yeah.
left in my holster.
I'm trying to
In my
think.
chamber.
I'm
you
trying
know?
to think like when we were in the apartment if anything happened.
Anything that would be so brutally
Well, we had that.
embarrassing to
We had that
JT.
girl, Michaela. Name change.
Okay.
Come over for a Halloween thing, because we had like 30 people in there for a Halloween party. He's laughing his ass off. And she started throwing up all over the place because she had too much alcohol.
Did
Oh, I
miss
didn't know
that?
about that.
Yeah.
Inside?
I knew somebody tried to get down and dirty, and they couldn't, and everybody knew it at the Halloween party. Mm-hmm. And
Well, and there's
that was
also
really embarrassing.
there's
At our
also
apartment?
yeah there's also the scenario where you walked in on
We can tell that. I think
Tell
I've
it.
told it. I think I've told it.
Tell it again.
where you walked in on
I'm almost positive I told it.
were you-
But it wasn't with video. When I walked in our apartment?
yeah with
Yes.
Ron
Jameson.
John.
So here we go.
Ron John Jameson.
I'll do. I can't really
Ron
get
John
up and
Surf
do
Shop.
it, but so yeah. So I think I've told this, so I'll do the abbreviated version. I came home from work, and back when our roommate was dating another girl, I came home, and then I opened the door, and on our
Brindle.
door, yes, when we opened the door, when you go the front door right here, against this wall is the couch. Okay, so I turn left, just like to look, because that's where you look. And then he's over there receiving fellatio from his significant other. And I'm like, hey, Johnny.
And then I get a text from he texts in a group text, and all he says, this is the only words he says, is, "Why does God hate me?"
Oh.
My reaction will always, for some reason, be the funniest part to me, because I beelined it to my room. I was like, hey, Johnny. And just kept going to my room.
But, like, your heart rate immediately spiked. Yeah. You're like, I'll never unsee that.
Yeah.
I remember after I went to college, when I was like, Evan's a real bro, it's because I guess the last girl I dated was at your apartment for something, and she was telling somebody, she was like, yeah, I heard Will went off to college and he's like a real man slut now. And you were just like, where'd you hear that?
Yeah. I was like, he's not. Where'd you hear that?
You're like, where'd you hear that? And she was like, just from people. And you're like, no, you didn't.
I was like, who? And she's like, I just heard it. I was like, all right. I was like,
it's because I wasn't, and who is she talking to that I know?
Yeah.
I'm in Little Rock.
I've got my insides in Euler.
What is the homeschool event? What happened at the homeschool? Like, I know you told us about the 911 payphone booth incident.
Yeah.
What's the? Oh, there's got to be another. There's got to be something. Come on.
There was nothing that was the talk of the whole
house
group.
Nobody was like a pariah in the homeschool group, even.
No,
because all of them are that.
What's the word on the street?
I do have
on
a
the
story
house.
from Boy Scouts.
Boy Scouts, that's it. Let's go. Who got molested?
I was the one doing the molesting.
Yeah, excuse you.
I was actually like the scout leader, like
as far as starts.
And on this trip, and there's one kid that came. He ended up getting kicked out later on, but whenever he came, he always when we went on camp out. It's like, you're not like, somebody buys all the food and we cook there. You're not supposed to bring like your own personal food or whatever. He would always bring a gallon of Arizona iced tea. And there was another kid that kept on bugging him for a drink of his iced tea, and like just would not relent. And so it just went on. I had to deal with that. Then Friday night, we all went to bed. Next morning, we all get up. I got up earlier, and I noticed that the gallon of Arizona iced tea was next to the campfire. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. And then the kid that was always bugging him for a drink comes up, looks around, grabs the jug, and takes a drink of it. He goes, that tastes weird. Takes another drink of it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
The dude had finished it and pissed in it at night instead of getting out of his tent. It was full. It was not full, but it had quite a bit of urine in it.
That's weird.
Exactly. I was like,
he drank it once. He's like, my natural curiosity strikes me. What is this?
Yeah. That should tell you something about what tea tastes like.
Yeah.
I like tea. I mean, I don't love tea.
I
don't love tea. I don't come home and I'm like, ooh, tea.
But yeah, it's
peas,
like,
man.
I mean, I guess it serves him right for trying to drink a
Homeboy's tea.
Somebody that's not.
But also,
disgusting.
he could have just given him a little swig.
I mean, he
You
could
shouldn't be like, you really
It's not
have to
like COVID
switch it
was
right
happening.
in your mouth to get the full tank.
Yeah, you got to shake it up. It gets all settled at the bottom.
Like, I don't like tea, but I do like Arnold Palmer.
Same. We're not mentioning names. Yeah.
Oh, Arnold Palmer. Sorry, let me flip the letters.
You
just
threw right the first time. I'm confused.
Okay, so Charlie, we're coming up on Halloween. I might put the new spooky intro on this one. I don't know.
Okay.
You were a Boy Scout.
Yes.
Captain, Turbo General. What's the creepiest thing that happened while you were in the Boy Scouts? You gotta spill the beans. You spend all that time in the woods.
Creepy, like scary, or creepy, like
you spend
uncle?
all that time in the woods. I have a story to tell if you want to just simmer. It doesn't have to be something that turned out to actually be creepy, but like something you were like really scared. Anything?
Okay. Well, now we know that Will's is going to turn out that way.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, so...
Doesn't have to be that good of a story.
Yeah.
It needs to be a story, though.
We got to fill this air somehow. So I was at... I was in Little Rock at the University Village apartment. I lived with 3 other guys that I did not know, and in a 4-bedroom apartment. And so we were on the middle level. There were people under us and people above us. And all of the apartments were exact copies. So it's like if you were in your hallway and you heard somebody above you, they were in their hallway, basically. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened here. So it was like 3 a.m. because I wasn't sleeping then for some reason at this point in my life. And I get up and I'm like going to the fridge for something. And I hear something. And so I open the door, because my bedroom door locks. I unlock the door, I open the door. And I'm like looking down this hallway into the kitchen past the laundry room. And it's like, it's like a horror movie. Like the farther I look, the less I can see. And I can't see the kitchen. And you were in there. That hallway wasn't very long.
Right.
It wasn't a very big apartment. And so I'm like, I heard like a bang. Like somebody was like maybe somebody fell in our kitchen, and I'm like, did somebody come home drunk or something? And all of a sudden I hear feet sprinting towards me, like bare feet on tile sprinting at me down the hallway. And I'm like, all the hair on my body stands up. I'm like, and then it goes over me and into the room, and it was my upstairs neighbor running down their hallway.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, I literally stood there like and then I was like, I don't want what I wanted anymore. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Did you realize like immediately that it was the person above you?
As soon as it went over my head. Okay. But like even coming up to me, I was like, those feet are in my body.
Oh God.
And then
I got one. So when we lived in our house that we rented on Harbor Avenue, one day, I guess one night, we were sleeping in the middle of the night, we woke up, and Ash wakes me up, and here's the problem. So I'm generally a pretty level-headed person. Ash can make me not level-headed. She makes me doubt myself. So, like...
What you want in a partner, typically.
Right, so we wake up, she wakes up in the middle of the night one night, and she's like, babe. I'm like, what? She said, our hall light is on. And... if I would have woken up and seen that, I would be like, oh, I left the hall light on.
Yeah.
Right? But then she wakes me up, and I'm like, oh, God.
She's like, babe, the devil is in the house.
I was like, I still try to play it cool. I said, we probably just left the hall light on. I said, it's not a big deal. And then she was like, I'm scared. And I was like, okay.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm scared. And anyway, so I get up and I'm like trying to like be like strong, and I'm like looking at it, and it looks like it looks like there's kind of a shadow under the door a little bit to me, and I'm like, it's not. I'm like, it's nothing. And then she's like, okay, and I'm just like standing there, and I like reach over and I lock the door, and I'm like, bing. And she's like, did you just lock the door? I was like, no.
No, I unlocked it to show you how confident I am.
And then, honestly, the funniest thing, in my opinion, about this whole thing is that it looked like the shadow underneath. I told her, I said, it looks like there's 2 feet under our door. I did tell her that. After that, when I was kind of starting to get a little freaked out, I said, it looks like there's like 2 feet standing at our door. And the carpet and the gap of the bottom of the door were close. So it went like this gap, and I saw feet.
You could see the toes going like this.
And it was carpet. It was carpet, too. So I was like, it looks like there's like 2 feet right there. And she's like, nah, she got freaked out. And then I opened it real fast, and there's naturally, and there's
she put a round down the hallway.
Opened it, I'm like, bah! But anyway, like the funniest thing to me in my mind is that for a split second in my head, I thought that someone was standing at the door, like
just face to face with
feet, like
Like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, that's how they would have been standing for 10 minutes.
They've just been vibing themselves.
Just listening.
What if you just start hearing like lightly in the background mask off? Like it's coming from the earbuds.
Freaking mask.
So I don't know if you have one, but I do. Like a little like creepy story.
I mean,
creepy pasta story.
I've told it before we had video though, but I mean,
might have been our
since
first
it's Halloween,
episode.
Save it
can
for
talk
next
about it.
week.
Okay.
We'll double down on the spooky stories next week.
Okay.
And then triple down
Right
on the
down,
week
yeah.
after.
Okay, Chad.
But so I was staying at my parents' place. They wanted me to watch the place because the dog and the cat and whatever. And I've maybe told this one, but I can't remember. So they at the time they lived on the Ecclesia campus out in Elm Springs, and it was the middle of the summer, so there was nobody there on the whole campus. Whole place is empty, but me. They're on a little tiny house,
Yeah,
right in the middle of the campus. Like if I walk outside, it's just kind of fields
I was gonna say it was
and
kind
buildings.
of in the middle of nowhere on
A little
campus.
bit, like it kind of felt like if I went out there and screamed, like nobody was around to hear me.
Yeah.
kind of.
Yep.
But so I'm in there, I'm watching TV. I finally go to sleep. I hear a noise, and it sounds like a door opening, like really quick though, almost like somebody like threw it open. And I was like, that was weird. I was like, I don't hear anything else, so
Probably not the devil.
yeah, I was like, I'm gonna let that go. And then
Let that one slide.
and then a little while later, I hear it again, and I go, "Yo, what the fuck is that?" And I eventually even kind of like Evan, I'm like, all right, let's be tough here, okay? I'm a man. I go out there and I go, "The fuck." All right, and then
I will kill you.
yeah, no, that's how you do it. You say, "I'll kill you." Like, all right. So nothing happened. I was like, all right.
Where
So-
could this go?
So I get back into my parents' room, close the door, lock that, and I lay back down. I hear it again. I'm about to lose my mind. I go out there, and then finally I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait for that sound to happen again. I sit out there for like, of course, like it felt like 30-minute increments there. Of course, it's like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
Finally, I hear the sound again. They had window AC units, and it was the filter like sucking to it as it was kicking on.
Yeah.
But it was kind of loud.
You're like, I'll kill you.
Yeah. The dog's like,
I'll get my dad to shoot you.
dog's like, I wish a motherfucker would. It's like a little shih
Is
tzu.
that
Like,
still rolling?
Probably need to wrap it
yeah, I
up.
think
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless we're not.
Yeah, let's wrap it. Let's wrap it,
It's
boys.
8:10. So.
Next week, Charlie's going to tell his story, and we're all going to try to think of another one to tell.
We're gonna get
Are we gonna
scared.
dress up on the closest episode to Halloween?
You can do that. I'm not.
Yeah.
All right.
What do I look like?